And in addition to central defense, is finding a partner for Michael Bradley a priority? You tried a couple of different looks last year. I'm not sure if you feel you have found the ideal midfielder to go with him. What are your thoughts on that?
We think we have a lot. We have a lot of depth and a lot of good players in the midfield. So I think Oso, Colin can be. I think that we need to get establish sort of our tactics and what everybody's job is going to be on the field. That will help clarify things for all of them. But I think both of those guys are very good next to him. Obviously, Kyle is coming along and has had some opportunities at the end of the year. I think we have Warren Craval. We added Marco Delgado. We have a lot of guys who have some quality that are in the midfield. Some of them young still, but I think very, very talented and developing along the way. Sometimes we played Oso on the outside to come off of the wide spaces to come inside and create some numerical advantages inside. He's got some versatility, but we also like him, and the team, to be fair, was more successful when he played in the middle. So there's a lot of options that we have with those guys, and as we continue to add pieces going into the season, it will become clearer as to what the partnerships will look like.
And up front, if everybody stays, right now you've got a fair number of pieces and weapons.
We do, yeah. Yeah, we do. We'll have to figure out what the best pairing is. That's what it's going to come down to. For me, it's the best team that we can put on the field, not necessarily the best 11 players, but the best team that we can get out there that is capable of winning games for us that's going to be on the field.
And Gilberto, are there any efforts going underway to make sure he reports differently than he did last time? Because apparently he did not have a good off-season before coming to you.
Yeah, we've been in communication with him. We've set up, as you probably saw in the meeting of this portal, and there's communication going back. We know where he's training and what he's doing. So we're staying in close contact with the guys. So we know what everybody's situation is. In fairness to him, he got an eye opener last year when he arrived and he wasn't fit, and he knows that, and he felt that was a contributing factor to a slow start for him and getting goals. So I do believe he'll show up a lot more motivated, and he understands what the challenges are within the league now, and he wants to be strong when he gets here, and we will use the preseason to get him stronger and to get him sharper and to get him fit. But I have full faith that he'll show up in different form than maybe he did last year. And we're going to keep him healthy at the beginning. That's the key, too.
And just finally for me, is there a date that all the players are supposed to be here, including Defoe?
Well, as of right now, Defoe should be in a little bit earlier just because he's coming back from injury, just so we can check in on him. But aside from that, I think we'll do the medicals on the weekend before the 26th, and that's when we start on the field, the 26th.
You said earlier the 17th, Defoe?
That's the day we would like to see him, yes, that's the plan.
Just finally from me, how do you cope, or do you do anything differently with 7 road games to start the season? Is there anything in the build-up, in the pre-season, is it business as usual, or is there anything you can do to try and make sure that with the travel that's coming, that you can be prepared for that?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to take any drastic changes. We need to establish sort of our identity as a team, and what we'll do is we'll give the guys a few lessons in what challenges they're going to face on the road. We'll create some adversity for them during the preseason so that they get a sense of what that looks like, and there's no shock when we hit the road for a few weeks. So aside from that, we need to be very diligent about how we're going to be organized on the field, both from a defending standpoint, but we want to still be aggressive, and we still want to try to dictate games, and we don't want to change our identity because we start that way, because we're going to end it with a very good position, which is 6 games. And so we don't want to try to start with one identity and end with a different identity. So we just want to make sure that we're organized and everybody understands their roles and who we are and what their job is on the field.
Did you have any long stretches like this as a player for similar reasons?
I didn't. No, I didn't. I left and went to Europe when the Galaxy opened the stadium in 2002, but our fitness coach, Jim Liston, was with the Galaxy through that stretch, so he has some unique experience. Of what is what he noticed and recognized, and has very clear ideas of what they didn't do right necessarily, because when teams have started on the road, they've struggled, and they haven't picked up, I think I saw 3 wins in like 25 games is combined for all the teams that have started like that, and a number of draws, but I think he's got really good ideas as to things that they could do better. So we're obviously taking some of his input on that, on the physical preparation, and for us is, again, just to be tactically sound on both sides of the ball, to understand what everybody needs to buy into this, because you don't want to hit the road with guys who have their own ideas. So that we'll be looking at setting that standard right from the start.
Is it helped that last year's road form compared to the years before was actually pretty decent? And if you look at Toronto FC's history, does that give the players a sort of boost of confidence that it is possible to take points on the road and they've done it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, in talking to our guys over the offseason and around the facility, they have no fear of starting on the road. I think, in some ways I wouldn't say they envy it because they love playing in front of their own crowd, but they have no fear of going on the road and being able to find ways to get results. We need to be stingy about every single point this year. At the beginning of the season, middle of the season, and end of the season, that we shouldn't let any points slide. We need to be stingier on the defensive side, and that'll be an attitude that we take in. But I do think playing on the road, a lot of it is about attitude, confidence, making sure you're organized and you're not exposing yourself when you don't need to, and creating and setting up opportunities when you can. So, and I think the attitude of the group is going to be in the right place.
And on the flip side, you guys are ending the season with a lot of home games in a row, and that typically is the time of the year where playoff spots are decided. Is that a benefit to have that many home games at the end?
Yeah, theoretically, yeah, it should be. The key for us again is to really understand who we are through that first half of the season, despite the fact that we're playing on the road, so that we end the season at home with a clear identity and an understanding of how we're going to get results. And I think we'll build a lot of resiliency as a group, being on the road early, and I think that should serve us well towards the end. Keep guys healthy, and the thing with the league is it's a long season and lots of things happen over the course of the season, and you just hope that those things continue to go in your favor and you hit this last stretch of games healthy and with a team that's ready to make a run at the playoffs, and I do believe we'll be in that position. So no better place to do it than at home in front of your home crowd, though.
Greg, another sport, but I wonder what went through your mind when Randy Carlyle was fired. He had a winning record. One of the dangers of your profession, obviously, but I'm sure you felt some sympathy for him.
Yeah, it's the nature of the business. I always, even when Mike was let go in New York, always you feel for those people, because it's more than just the coach; it's a family, and there's all that, right? So we always, as coaches, we feel for each other in those situations. But it's the nature of the business. We get into it knowing that, and it's unfortunate, but that's what happens. And so I'm sure he'll move on and be successful. And there's always good moments after bad moments. So.